So today we're going to kind of start the second episode in our series of the customer service initiatives that we've been working on. On the first episode, which you can watch here, Levi kind of broke down the 4 C's of our customer service initiative that we were going to be working on. So today, kind of really breaking down the first 2 C's. So the first C is
compassion.
When people use buzzwords, a lot of times you don't actually know what they mean. There's not that definition, right? So we're going to try to define that and explain what it is.
Sure.
I'm going to drink coffee.
Well, that's fine. So the best way that I found to look at these is to ask 2 questions. Is first, what difference does it make? And then secondly, how do we achieve those things? Understanding what difference it makes really gives you an idea of what it is and why it's important. With compassion, that's the most important thing with customer service in terms of it is the feeling side of customer service. If that's not there, there's no motivation, there's no determination, there's no will to actually be a good customer service representative. You can't represent your company, you can't serve your customer because you don't want to. There's no passion behind it. So what compassion is ultimately identifying your customer as a person and relating to your customer as a person. So it's really 2 human beings doing business with each other as opposed to what we call transactional relationships in business. So instead of it's just I give you money, you give me service, it's actually I'm going to understand what your needs are and I'm going to serve those needs, basically. So the difference that makes is, again, relational versus transactional. I'm going to actually care about the customer, so I'm going to try to meet their needs, even if they don't know what needs need to be met. So they may say, I want you to rekey my door. So when I notice that your lock is broken, I'm not going to just rekey it and leave. I'm going to actually let you know, hey, your lock is broken. Would you like me to repair this for you? What can we do to help fix this problem for you?
I ran out of room. This is the no zone, Levi.
So yes, so ultimately it has to do with looking at your customer as a human being that you care about, and you say these people have needs, and I want to meet those needs in a way that helps them. These people feel unsafe, they don't feel secure, something's going on with their lock. We want to provide them with security because we care about them. We don't just want to provide them with work because we want their money. So that's ultimately the identifying force behind compassionate customer service.
So I want to take that into a whole nother different angle, and I'll link this below. A buddy of mine did a blog post about not the exact same concept, but a little bit down the lines of being able to, you can't give compassion unless you're willing to receive compassion. So it's kind of the give and take thing, right? But so we'll link that below so that you can kind of read on that. But the cool thing is, when it comes to this, when you talk about all of the 4 C's that you're gonna break down, compassion is one of the things that we can't give that to our customers unless we give that to each other within our organization. And that's within any organization you're talking about, because these are really great pillars to kind of work off of, but you can't externally communicate that, you can't externally give that away unless you're doing it internally as a natural progression, a natural operation type thing. So if I don't have compassion for you and you don't have compassion for me, or you don't have compassion for your other coworkers, then it's going to be really difficult for you to do that towards a customer.
Absolutely, and with the customer being at the center, again, we want to build a culture for our employees to feel like we have compassion for them. Because just like he said, if they're not receiving compassion, why would they want to give the customer compassion? And compassion is not something you can create. It's more of something that flows through you. So as you receive it, you naturally pour it out to others. It's not something that you can just say, oh, well, I'm suddenly going to create this compassion for someone. It really is a relational thing that has to flow through everyone in order for it to successfully move into whatever you're doing in life.
We've identified now what compassion is and how that looks from a customer experience, customer service aspect. how do you execute on that? What does that mean to take action on?
Right. So the first thing to do, the first step to take is ultimately going to be, in a sense, a heart or a mind change of identifying your customer as, like we said, a person and not as an ATM. So they're not someone that you just put in a service and you get out money and then you leave. It's ultimately has to be relational. These are real people that we're dealing with that have real problems and real needs. The second thing you want to do is really just to ask yourself 3 simple questions. The first one is, what do they need? And so I think that part deals with really empathizing with the customer. So that means putting yourself in their shoes, asking, what are they feeling right now? What hardships are they facing? What is their lack of knowledge in this area? Then the second thing you want to ask is, what can I do? Which is ultimately service. How can I educate them and go the extra mile to make sure that their issue is resolved and that they feel safe, that they feel secure, that their needs are met? And the last point, which I think is very important in terms of your interaction with the customer, is what can I say? And that deals a lot with your attitude towards the customer. So beyond just what you're doing, even the smallest details of conversation can make a huge difference with the customer. Working in customer service my whole life, I've seen conversations completely change based on very simple, personable statements being made where a person suddenly feels like they are a person because you simply identified them as one.
We have the definition of what compassion is and how it relates to customer service, and then we have basically how to execute on it. So we're talking about our customer service initiative here at Loc-Doc Security, trying to figure out how we can really craft the customer experience better in a focus of always improving. That's one of our core values here at Loc-Doc, is trying to always be in a state of improvement. And so Levi kind of came up with the 4 C's. You can see the video where we've kind of outlined all those. The first of the 4 C's is compassion, and it used to be written on this board and it's not anymore. So next we're going to unpack the second C, which is
confidence.
Confidence.